Please open up your workbook to page 22 and open up your notebook to the next blank page. Let's start by writing the date on the top of your notebook page. And this is lesson 1-3A. We are going to be multiplying fractions. So let's start by looking at example 1 here, multiplying unit fractions. There was 1/4 of a pan of lasagna left. Tom ate 1/3 of this amount. What fraction of a whole pan of lasagna did Tom eat? So let's read this one more time. There was 1/4 of a pan of lasagna left. Okay, so there's 1/4 of a whole left. Tom ate 1/3 of this amount. So he ate 1/3 of the 1/4 of the pan of lasagna that was left. What fraction of a whole pan of lasagna did Tom eat? So they give us a little hint here. It says to find a part of a whole, multiply to solve the problem. Well, 1/3 of 1/4, some of you might remember that of is a key word that we're going to be multiplying. So we have 1/3 times 1/4 equals. Now, before we solve that problem, we have our multiplying fractions problem set up here. But let's look at these pictures to help us visualize the multiplication behind what we're doing. So if we look at this picture of lasagna here, it says there was 1/4 of a pan of lasagna left. So that means I can split this pan up into 4 pieces. So here I have my 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and there's 1 out of the 4 pieces left. Tom ate 1/3 of this amount. So of the lasagna left, I'm going to split that into 3, and Tom ate 1 of them. So what fraction of the whole lasagna did Tom eat? Well, Tom ate 1 piece out of how many total squares do you now see on this piece of on this tray of lasagna? I see 12. So the answer here is that Tom ate 1/12 of the whole pan of lasagna. Let's see if that matches these examples down here that they gave us. So the one way, so very similar. They divided, if we look at the black hole lines, that's a whole. They divided that into fourths, right? We see fourths here. And then they divided the 1/4 into 3 equal parts. So this blue area is really 1 out of 12 parts, because if we divide each of the other 1/4 into 3 parts, there's 12 total parts, and there's only 1 out of the 12 blue. And then this another way example is very similar to our image up top with the drawn lasagna. They say to shade one of the 4 columns red to represent 1/4. So that's what they did over here. And then shade one of the 3 rows yellow to represent 1/3. So the overlap area here is our 1/12, 1 out of 12 total. So the math behind those pictures is that we multiply straight across. When we multiply fractions, we say numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So here we have 1 times 1, top times top, numerator times numerator. 1 times 1 is 1. Now denominator times denominator, or bottom times bottom. 3 times 4 is 12. Our final answer is 1/12. We just proved our answer 4 times. Okay, now let's look at number 7 on page 24. So please flip to page 24 in your workbook. We're going to look at number 7. We're going to use the model one more time. So find 5, 6, times 1/2. Use the model to help us solve. So we have to look and see how is this split up. Okay, so 5, 6. So I'm going to want to color 5 out of 6. So here's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. So I colored 5/6 yellow. You can just lightly shade it in your notebook or in your workbook. Now we're going to shade 1/2. So I'm going to do stripes here to shade 1/2. So this is all 1/2. So now how many pieces did I color in? Well, if I have 12 little rectangles there, and I colored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are both yellow and shaded blue. So that means that I have 5/12 of the whole shaded in. And let's double check this our math way. 5/6 times 1/2. Okay, I can multiply straight across, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. And that's our final answer, 5/12. Okay, so for the next examples, we are just going to solve the multiplication problems by multiplying straight across. I don't want you to worry about drawing any models or any pictures. Let's just practice our straight multiplication. So for number 8, rewrite it in your notebook, please. Number 8 says 3/4 times 4/9. Okay, so here, let's multiply straight across. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 9 is 36. So now I have 12/36. This fraction is not in simplest form. So I need to simplify 12/36. What number can both 12 and 36 be divided by? I want to think of a common factor of 12 and 36. What can 12 and 6 both be divided by? Well, 12 and 6 can both be divided by 3. They can both be divided by 4. They can both be divided by 6. But the biggest number they can both be divided by is 12. So I'm going to want to simplify here. Divide the top and the bottom both by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1. 36 divided by 12 is 3. So now we could have solved this multiplying fractions problem by simplifying before multiplying. So if we simplify before multiply, that means that we are going to be looking on the diagonal, looking for one numerator and one denominator that I can simplify by the same number. So right here, I see a 4 in my denominator and my 4 in my numerator. Well, 4 and 4 can both be divisible or divided by 4. So I'm going to simplify. I'm going to have 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, so I'm simplifying before multiplying. Now I'm going to look at my 3 and my 9. 3 and 9, oh, those can both be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now I simplified before I multiplied. Now I'm all set to multiply my fraction straight across using my new simplified numbers. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. My answers match. I get 1/3. So as we begin working with bigger numbers, it's going to be simpler or easier to simplify before multiply. But if you simplify at the end, you should still get the same answer. It's just easier to simplify before multiply. Let's try another example. Okay, now let's look at number 9. So in my notebook, I'm going to number 9. 2/3 times 1/2. Okay, so if I multiply first, I get 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 2/6. Oh, I need to simplify this. 2 and 6 can both be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now let's try to simplify before multiplying. So again, I have 2/3 times 1/2. So I look on the diagonal. 1 or 3, 1 and 3 are both already simplified. I can't reduce those. 2 and 2, 2 and 2 can both be divided by 2. Divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now I can multiply straight across. So the key is that if you simplify before multiply, you have to look for one numerator and one denominator. But once we simplify before multiply, then we multiply straight across. So I have 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. My answers match. Next one, let's try number 10 here. So in your notebook, you should write number 10, 5/9 times 1/9. Okay, so looking on the diagonal, 5 and 9, 1 and 9. Can I simplify one top and one bottom? No, I can't, so we just multiply straight across. So 5/9 times 1/9, what's your final answer? So 5 times 1 is 5. 9 times 9 is 81. My final answer is 5/81. Next one, let's try number 11. So look how I'm writing it right underneath. Copy the next problem. 7/10 times 3/4. Okay, so you look, can you simplify before multiply? If not, multiply straight across or simplify at the end. What's your final answer for number 11 here? The answer to number 11, 7 times 3 is 21. 10 times 4 is 40. And let's try one more. We're going to try number 13. Number 13 says 5/6 times 3/7. What do you get? What's your final answer for number 13? So I notice that I can simplify before multiply. 6 and 3 can both be divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 7 is 14.